Guys, I'm going to be showing you one of my builds that I like to use for 5 directives on heroic. You can even use it on legendary. So let me take you through the build. Okay, so first of all on the build, we will be using 2 pieces of Brazos. Alright, so the rolls in there is armor core with skill damage and armor regen. Alright, with a 13% protection from elite gear mod. On the chest piece, it's another Brazos with an armor core, armor regen, skill damage, and a 13% protection from elite gear mod with kinetic momentum on there. Okay, so when in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill, lost when on cooldown. So when both skills are active, both of your skills get 30% more skill damage. If one is on cooldown, you do lose that 15%, which is the downside to kinetic momentum. So the other skill will only get 15, but once you get that skill back and it's not on cooldown or activated, you get that 50% back and both will do 30%. For my backpack, I am running the exotic Memento backpack. Alright, so this has weapon damage, an armor core, and a skill tier, and a 13% protection from elite gear mod. The talent is called Kill Confirmed. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provide both a short and long-term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. Alright, so for every trophy collected, gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regeneration for 300 seconds. Maximum stack 30 stacks. For any of you that don't know, okay, so on max stack, you get 30% weapon damage, you get 30% skill efficiency, and you get 3% armor regen. 30% skill efficiency, okay, means 30% skill damage, 30% skill haste, 30% status effect, 30% repair skills, 30% skill duration, and 30% skill health. For the rest of the pieces, all are improvised pieces. So the glove has skill tier, armor regen, skill damage, and a protection from elite gear mod. The knee pads has a skill tier, skill damage, armor regen, protection from elite gear mod. And the same thing for the holster, skill tier, armor regen, skill damage, and protection from elite gear mod. The reason, so on this build, I have 3 armor cores, okay, on the pieces. Alright, and I have 4 skill tier. So you're gonna ask, well, how do I have 6 skill tier on the skills? That is because running 2 Brazos gives you a skill tier. So you get from one piece skill haste, and for another Brazos you get a skill tier. So that is 5 skill tiers. And the technician gives you another skill tier. Okay, so that is how I have 6 skill tiers on the drone and turret. I also have a 1.3 armor on this build. Alright. And the technician is really good because you get to do damage to robotics. Alright, and you get 10% skill damage. It's one of the parts on the technician, so let me just show you. Okay, so I think I have skill healing on here, just because it was on another build. So if I respec that and put it onto here, you get the 10% skill damage. Okay, and you get the 1 skill tier, and you get the 12% damage to drone, skill proxies, and robotics, which is very good. For my weapons, I'm using the capacitor because it stacks really well on a skill build. So as you can see, shooting enemies build stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. That's really good to increase your skills damage, but also you get the damage from having skill tiers. So for each skill tier, gain 7.5% weapon damage. Okay, which is really good. So you want to run the capacitor on this build. Right, and my secondary is the harmony, so that has perfectly in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. And lastly, I have the card 45. Okay, damage your target out of covers on there with in sync. Okay, so the good thing about this build is you have a lot of protection from elites on here. Okay, so you will take damage from reds and purples. You'll take a little bit of damage from the elites, but it's very minimal. You can actually face tank them with this build if you watch the whole clip that is on this build video, you will be able to see that I can face tank pretty much named enemies and elites. And pretty much most of the things, as I said, you will take damage from reds and purples, but this build is really good. You can take this into legendary on 5 directives and you will see no problem. And don't forget, because you have the 7.5% weapon damage on here, you're also getting the 15% weapon damage on here. Alright, so this build is very good. It's one of my favorite builds. So for the improvised, if you're a new player, I'm sure all the old players know, you can go to your crafting bench and you can go to any of these gloves, knee pads, and holsters, what you want, and you can just go to the bottom bit, improvised. Alright, you can craft it there, so everything has skill damage and armor regen. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Peace.